Welcome back to another episode of the Next Man Up podcast. This is episode 55. Today's going to be heavy NFL oriented. It's been like 2 weeks since we really have put out some NFL content for you guys. We just got caught up in our schedules when we weren't able to talk about basketball and football in the same setting. And then people weren't available and stuff like that. But we're back. We're going to be talking about NFL and NBA. Last night we had an amazing slate of games, and then obviously had open night with a whole bunch of narratives, stuff like that. So basically, we're going to be breaking down the first 2 days of the NBA. I think the Bucks and Sixers are the only team that haven't played a game, if I'm not mistaken, play tonight. But outside of that, we're going to break down the first 2 days of the NBA season, along with Week 7 of the NFL season, and preview some stuff for the rest of the season for the NFL. So let's get right into it. The first game we're going to be talking about. Oh, before we start, make sure you guys follow our social media accounts and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment. I always got to say that before we get into an episode. Q, I don't know if you know, but you're muted. Okay. First game we're going to talk about is the 49ers losing back-to-back against – let me change this because Max's face is blocked. But the 49ers lost back-to-back games when it seemed like they weren't going to lose for the entirety of the season. Obviously, they weren't going to go 16-0. But they lose back-to-back in a close game against – I forgot who they lose to. The Vikings. They lost to the Vikings. I did not expect that at all. So it was a major upset. Captain Kirk played amazingly for one of the first times on prime time. He was amazing. Nearly 400 yards, no interceptions. I think 2 touchdowns. So he was great in that win. Give me you guys really key takeaways, initial thoughts from the game. What's been going on with the 49ers? Why are they on a 2-game losing streak?
They got caught in situations. In the Browns game, that's the number one defense. I understand that he didn't have everything going for him. He didn't have CMC really. He was here and there. Debo wasn't there, so obviously he didn't have his full supporting cast. And that's what a lot of people wanted to see from Brock Purdy. Like, what do you do when you don't have everything go your way? Like when the defense is not hitting, or you don't have all your pieces. That's what people wanted to see from him. And can you get out a win? Yeah, he drove him down to field goal range. But on the first play of that drive, he basically threw an interception. Greg Newsome just didn't catch the ball. If he catches the ball, the game's over anyway. But he drove him down the field. Credit to that. Kicker missed the field goal. Everybody blames the kicker. Thing is, with those situations, if he makes the kick, they don't say the kicker won the game. They say Brock Purdy won the game. It was a lot of throws that, that could have ended this game. They just didn't capitalize on. In the Vikings game, Brian Flores, yes, the defense was not good. He's a certain type of dude. He blitzes all the time. But, it's around that time, they start getting film on you. The Browns did it. Brian Flores, all he had to do, you watch the game before, see what they did right, see how they got him, and just try to replicate the same thing. That's exactly what they did. Granted, Brock Purdy pretty much played well throughout the game, and now in hindsight, it's like he had a concussion, but those are still some crazy passes, 2 back-breaking interceptions when you had a chance to win the game. I don't think this is gonna last because things happen. We didn't expect them to go undefeated, but in like 3 weeks they'll go right back to winning games, and we'll forget about this 2 little stint. It just shows that he's not as special because the special quarterbacks got out those wins like that. But he is who most people thought he was, or should have thought he was.
Yeah.
When you say he is what most people thought he was, what does that mean, Q?
He's a system QB.
Okay. You don't want to elaborate on that?
Nah, I've been saying this for mad long. It's nothing more to say. I'm not gonna get into a big argument. Like he's a system QB. That's it. Like we know that already. People just wasn't trying to see it. Like they wasn't trying to hear it. Like, that's it. Like I don't think there's any more debate to that.
Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't nervous when they lost to the Browns, because the injuries, right? You can kind of push it on that, and they were a field goal away. Like, I get what you're saying, where it's like if he hits that, then it's Brock Purdy's drive, does it, not the field goal kicker. Like that's his job. He should hit that. But they were a field goal away. Like I'm not too worried about that game. But this, I don't know. The Vikings have looked like a fake team all year. They've had a good offense, but their defense has been terrible. And they could not find anything to do in that first half. Jordan Addison, that was just disgusting. He was lighting up their defense. When he stole the ball from his hands, that was disgusting. Oh my
I should have
gosh,
traded
that
Yeah,
was
him. I should
insane.
have traded. I should have just kept him on my team. I should have traded him.
Yeah.
It was
Jesus.
still Kirk Cousins slings on Monday night. Those were
Yeah, but
still
it was just
touches, but Jordan Addison just
he's
played
won
crazy.
2 Monday night games. I saw a stat where it's like he's won 3 Monday night games now, and this is his first one not against the Bears. So that's tough. But yeah, we know he's like a terrible primetime performer. Shut that up against the best team that we all thought in football. Yeah, it was just an ugly game. Like they made it close at the end. I thought maybe like they can pull one out here, but Minnesota's throwing their ground like they got it. But Jordan Addison was insane that game. He lit up their secondary. Kirk Cousins was throwing the football well. They were driving down the field. But yeah, this makes me look at San Fran in a new light. I think they got to go back to the drawing board. I think who are their next games? Who they play next?
They got the Bengals next.
Okay, so not a super easy game. If you got
Sam
a healthy Joe
Darnold.
Burrow. Yeah, but still, I mean, I do agree with what you're saying with the system quarterback. Like, I think you can put a bad quarterback in the system and you could still get something to go out, right? Like, I think Brock Purdy, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's right. He's played good so far this year, but I do agree with the system aspect. But I'm not super worried, I guess, with Sam Darnold in there. I think he'll be at least make them competitive. The team is so good around, you know what I mean? Like, the offense defense is so good around him. But I am curious to see. It's like Cincinnati's not. I know they're not like record wise a great team, but they're not obviously not a pushover team. You still have a great offense. Defense has some great pieces, so I will be
Nah,
curious to see. They need. I think this might be a must win game, to kind of change the tides of their culture there. You can't lose 3 straight after going 6-0. That's pretty bad.
5-0.
Okay, 5-0.
The thing is, like the 49ers, like Trent Williams is out. You feel me? So they're gonna have to chip over there all game because Trey Henderson is still a tier 2 pass rusher. He can get to the quarterback. If Sam Darnold, like the thing with this is like if Sam Darnold goes in there, he loses to the Bengals, it's just gonna make it like seem like you needed Brock Purdy to win that game. You feel me? It just, but if they win the game, it's like damn, maybe like goes further to the narrative that he's a system quarterback. But like clearly the team is just that great. Go ahead, T.
Honestly, I feel like it's a must-win game for the Bengals. I don't think this is a must. Like the 49ers are going to have an excuse if they lose the game. They're obviously going to win their division still, probably will still finish with the 2 seed. I think this is a Bengals game they must win just because of the fact that you have an opportunity here. The 49ers are injured.
What's the excuse? What's the excuse of the 49ers? You're saying it's still injuries?
Injuries, and they don't have a starting quarterback. What do you mean? Like
the injuries give a buff, and if they go 5-3, they can still at least get the 2 seed, and they can still probably make a jump for the 1 seed because the Eagles' next stretch of games is still they have a tough next 7, and with Dallas they have to face Dallas twice. Whatever you think of Dallas, their schedule is pretty easy, so they could even if they lose to the 2 Eagle game, they could probably still come out with a better record than the Eagles. And since 49ers already had that head-to-head against the Dallas Cowboys, they could probably still get the 1 seed anyway with 3 losses.
Do you think if Sam Darnold plays well, they start to have a quarterback talk, or no? Because he's a system quarterback, not going to worry about it.
The only
you gotta
understand, and it's like even if they were the same like level of quarterback, Brock Purdy already been playing in the system. He has the continuity already. Even if because Sam Darnold in training camp looked better than Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy already got the continuity with the team. He wasn't playing with seconds; he was playing with ones, and he's been winning so far. The only reason why one game was a weird game, kick and missed the kick. The next game, he played well. In hindsight, he had a concussion. You seen the massive drop off, whatever. If you're gonna go this concussion, the excuse is not really an excuse, but it's a reason. Remember, they should be fine going through the rest of the games. Their schedule's not that daunting after that. They pretty much got their big wins out the way with the Cowboys. Everything after that is pretty smooth, unless he's out for 3-4 weeks and Sam Darnold's lighting it up. That's the only way that's going to happen, but it's a concussion. He'd probably be out at most 2 weeks, so Brock Purdy should have his job when he get back.
The conversation after this loss to the Vikings is going to be, is Brock Purdy assistant quarterback? And I think the answer to whether he's good or whether he's like elite is like somewhere in the middle, but he's definitely closer to being average than being an elite quarterback. That's the truth on Brock Purdy. He's not Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not going to say he's Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a little bit better than that, I feel like. He can extend plays a little bit more. He's been more consistent with health. He's been more consistent with making throws with anticipation, extending plays, certain stuff like that. But is Brock Purdy succeeding because he's on the 49ers? Yes. It's yes. I think if you throw – people have disrespected Mac Jones for so long, bro, because he plays with the Patriots. Hold on. People have disrespected Mac Jones for so long because he plays with the Patriots. I know you're with me. People have disrespected Mac Jones for so long because he plays with the Patriots with no weapons, an okay offensive line, okay running game, and an injured defense this season. But if he played in this 49 system, the narrative around Mac Jones would be so much different. Because honestly, talent-wise, I think him and Brock Purdy are probably on par, and I could argue that Mac Jones is better than him. Like I don't know if that's crazy to say, but I feel like there's not a talent gap between Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. They played in two different situations. That's how I feel personally. You shake your head, Max. I don't know. Do you disagree with me?
Yeah, I disagree.
With what?
Why though?
I just think Mac Jones is a bad quarterback, and I get your blaming system. It's just some of his decision making. He came in to be a accurate passer, and maybe you're gonna blame it on time, but you can literally guarantee the picks he throws every game. You can go pull up the stats from his games. Like if you're literally throwing for three completions, if you go back up and look at his stats when he played teams like Dallas, when he played teams like what was the other game they got smoked by?
What did he do against the Bills?
It's his first good game of the season. Good for him.
It's not his first good game of the season.
He played well. And what? Hold on. What's our narrative been with the Bills all year? That their defense has declined at a rapid rate.
All year.
Since what? Week 4, week 3?
Since the Jaguars game, yeah, basically.
So it's week 8.
Like, how do you expect a quarterback to perform well without any weapons? Like his best receiver,
Bailey Zappi looks more competent in that offense than he does.
No, he does not.
That's
no,
not a lie.
That's not true at all.
That's not a lie.
Bailey
Zappi looks more confident when throw him in there. Stop.
Listen,
that's not true.
If Mac Jones,
the Saints,
they didn't pass on Brock Purdy. They didn't pass on Mac Jones to go get Brock Purdy. They passed on Mac Jones to get a uber talented quarterback that they thought could, be the gap to make a Super Bowl. But Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones specifically because he fits the offense perfectly. It's a timing thing, and 3 years in the system, he would have been way ahead of where Brock Purdy is right now. He's just that quarterback. He plays in that system. He was a first round quarterback. He was not nowhere near the last pick. Everybody had film on Brock Purdy. There's a reason why he was the last pick for like that. There was a reason why he was the last pick. Mac Jones was a first round pick.
Understand, but just because you're a first round pick does not mean you're guaranteed to be a better player.
In his first year, in his first year, he played like a first round pick.
Let me go. You're gonna ignore the fact that QB play is so situational. Like in his first year, like you said, he was 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 3,800 yards, and made the playoffs because he had decent weapons. Overpaid weapons. They were overpaid, but they were decent. He is playing with his best receiver who is the best receiver? I don't even know.
Kendrick Bourne is his best receiver. He's a wide receiver 3 at best.
Kendrick Bourne is his best receiver. They traded. I mean, they let go Jacoby Myers to pay Juju the same amount of money. His best receiver last season, and Juju stinks. He was good last year because of Patrick Mahomes. So to act like Mac Jones is worse than Brock Purdy, I can't get behind that. He's playing like a bottom 10 quarterback because he is in one of the worst situations offensively in the NFL. That's just true. And you give him George Kittle, you give him CMC,
Brandon Ayuk, he'd be putting up the same numbers, right?
Kyle Shanahan.
So I get it. So when you're saying you put him in the best position of football, then it's different. That's fine. Like, cool. You can say it with the majority of quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm just saying it's not a good look when you go up against back-to-back weeks. You throw under 50% completion, 2 picks. Bailey Zappi comes in, has a better completion than you, a better QBR than you. That's just not a good look, in my opinion. So maybe you guys want Bailey Zappi. I don't know.
How long was the game for? That was partially for the entire. That was for a partial game. And also, you want to talk about?
Each one had a better QBR. I don't like.
That's what happens when teams don't got film on you. You could come out and surprise anybody because they don't got film on Bailey Zappi. But if you give Bailey Zappi 10 games, they'll figure him out, and he won't be doing none of that. There's a reason why he's not even the back. He's not even on the team.
I get what you're saying as far as like you could throw him in the 49ers offense, but you can say that about a lot of people. I think Brock Purdy is definitely overhyped. As a talent-based quarterback, he's not top 10. He might be playing like one now, but I agree. It's all blame the situation. I don't think that Brock Purdy and Mac Jones are like, as a talent-based quarterback, these top 15 quarterbacks, right? I think there are better guys than them in the league. I don't think that's crazy to say. You throw Kirk Cousins in there better. You throw Matt Stafford in there better. Jared Goff in there better. Tua's better. Dak might be better. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain amount of quarterbacks.
This is
There's a certain amount of quarterbacks that when you throw in that offense, they are automatically like, they're not, that maybe they make the Super Bowl. They're guaranteed. If you throw majority of quarterbacks, not majority. If you throw past those top 7 guys, I think there's a good, like, I don't know.
You've seen exactly what it looks like with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins against the Niners with less than ideal weapons, and he pulled out a win against them. Imagine if you had Kirk Cousins on the team.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are a good amount of quarterbacks, and I don't think Mac Jones is this team that guy's going to elevate their team. No, if anything, he's at the same spot.
What we're saying is he's going to come and do the same thing.
He would do the same thing. He would do the same
thing. He's so much. I'm just saying he'd be able to come in and do exactly what Brock Purdy's doing. He's going to do the same thing.
I'm not trying to say Purdy's just like leaps and bounds quarterback better, because I think at the bottom you're nitpicking at who's the worst quarterbacks in the league, right? Who's the bottom 16? You're nitpicking at stuff. I don't think it's crazy, because I agree it is situational at a point, but yeah, I'm not gonna like be, especially from something I've never seen.
You see Mac Jones as a bad quarterback.
His rookie year.
When he had weapons. When he had weapons.
But do you think that is okay? Is that his ceiling, or do you think that's his
weapons weren't good?
Like, do you think that's his ceiling? I don't know. Will Mac Jones ever get better than he was that rookie year at this point?
If they put Kendrick Bourne his best receiver, no, he's not. He's not. I mean,
they play week 1. They won week 1 because they kept throwing it. No, they lost week 1.
They didn't. Ramondre Stevenson is going to be your best back, and I mean he's okay, but he's recently like he doesn't have any bursts, like he's not anything crazy. And that's going to be your running back. And if Bill Belichick will continue to make the decisions he makes as a GM, then yes, this is going to be his ceiling. I don't know why. Like it's situational. You cannot give a quarterback a terrible situation when he's not a top 7, top 10 type quarterback, and he makes something out of it. You put these average quarterbacks in terrible situations. They play terrible. They play below average. You've seen Brock Purdy, and this is not a terrible situation. You're going against the Browns, arguably one of the best defenses in the NFL, yes. But you still have Brandon Ayuk. You still have George Kittle. You still have one of the best defenses in the NFL. You still have Kyle Shanahan, the best play caller in the NFL, and you see what he did. He was below average. He was 15-27. He did not score have a passing touchdown. He was not good at all. So like you said, when a situation decreases, average quarterback play decreases, and it was nowhere near as bad as what Mac Jones has had to deal with for the entirety of the season. When you saw him go against the Saints, you saw him go against the Jets, you saw him go against the Cowboys, he's terrible. But his situation is what's making him appear to be this bad. He is not a worse quarterback than Brock Purdy. It's a fact to me.
I don't think opinion. I don't think it's a fact. Yeah, exactly. And that's not, first of all, I get the situation part. It's not always true. As we see with Tyson Bagent, who is putting together winning football on a terrible team. We know this. Like, is Tyson Bagent a great quarterback? No. Is the Bears a good system? No. So how do they look competitive in the last
Tyson Bagnet's weapons are better than Mac Jones. On God. It is.
That's fine.
Bro,
are they still a good team?
Did you see the game plan they were calling for him?
That's fine. It's
the Raiders.
Why doesn't New England scheme up the same thing? Scheme up something that's going to make your quarterback effective. Why are you just throwing it out there? Cool. Like, I don't get what you're doing. You went up against the Bills, who we talk about having a shit defense. I get the Raiders are worse, and he dotted them up.
The Bills don't have a shit. Stop. The
Raiders have a shit defense. Sorry. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, just because you automatically have a bad quarterback or bad situation, does not mean your quarterback play is automatically terrible, right? We see guys ball out. Mac Jones had a great
average quarterbacks. Yes, it is. From average quarterback, yes, it is. Tyson Bagent did not do anything crazy on Sunday, for one.
Well, the past 2 weeks before that, Justin Fields had 8 touchdowns in 2 games, and he went up against who did he play? We played the Commanders, and we played who was the week after the Commanders?
You played 2 terrible defenses.
Broncos.
2 terrible defenses, and again, his offensive situation is not worse than Mac Jones. And also, Justin Fields, as a talent, is better than Mac Jones. I don't know why you're bringing him into this.
Thank you. I'm just saying, when you're talking about average quarterbacks, where's Justin Fields in your quarterback ranking?
He's a bottom 10 quarterback for sure. But like
Okay,
I said,
so that's average. So as far as quarterback, stop.
His
As
situation
far as quarterback
not
goes,
as better.
wait. So if you have Justin Fields as bottom 10, but he's a better quarterback talent than Mac Jones, where the fuck is Mac Jones?
They're both bottom 10. Like as far as what they're playing, Justin Fields is obviously more talented than Mac Jones. I don't know what you're trying to say here.
I'm just saying,
I already said that.
So you're like, so where's Brock Purdy? Because you're literally picking at the 6th and 7th best
Brock
quarterback.
Purdy is towards like 15 to 18 range because of his situation. It's a situational play. Like, I don't know what
you're not talking about talent base. You're talking about how they're playing right now.
Yes, I mean obviously Justin Fields is not a bottom 10 talent.
Brock Purdy is still not, like as a talent, like as a just a
Brock
talent.
Purdy's bottom 10.
Yeah, he's still bottom 10. Like as a talent,
I would put Mac Jones bottom 10 as well. As a talent.
I don't agree with that. Well, yeah, obviously, yes. But I'm saying he's still better than Mac Jones, though. I mean, he's still better than Brock Purdy. He's still better than Brock Purdy. You also forget when Mac Jones come out what he was coming out of Alabama, bro. He lit the college world on fire, and
stop. No one expected. No, stop. This is what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
No. Everyone knew what he was. Everyone knew what he was.
Man.
They knew
he was an accurate passer.
That's it. He was an accurate passer, and that's it. That's all you're gonna get.
I thought Mac Jones was gonna get.
His rookie season, he's probably not going to get much better than that. But if you take that rookie season, Mac Jones, and you put him in San Francisco, those numbers get inflated, and you would be thinking Mac Jones is like you'd be talking about Mac Jones how they talking about Brock Purdy right now, because that 3,800 yards probably really about 45 if you got CMC and Kittle and Ayuk, like they just get boosted. It's easy.
My bad. So Q, Brock Purdy coming out of college as a talent or Mac Jones? Mac Jones easily, right? Okay, that's my
last pick for a reason, bro. They knew exactly what he was, and they picked him. He got picked last for a reason, bro. Let's not blame the scouting department now. We know, like, he just wasn't the guy. Like, we got to.
All right, we talked a lot about the 49ers and Brock Purdy specifically. Let's flip the switch a little bit to the Vikings. We all came on here and felt like they should tank. Like a few weeks ago, they win 2 straight games, and their next stretch of games. Is very like personally. I feel like they just beat the 49ers. They can win the next 5-6 games. Do you think the Vikings should try to make the playoffs this season, or should they tank for Caleb Williams?
I'm gonna keep it all the way. I'm gonna keep it quick. At this point, they won't be able to tank for Caleb Williams. They're just not gonna get him. You feel me? So that doesn't mean trying to still get a top 5 pick, because there's not going to be a quarterback right there that you. I mean, unless you want Drake May, but I mean, he probably won't be at the spot to be able to get him anyway. You right, the next game they could definitely win out. Win those games, not win out, but win a decent amount. Probably go 3-2, still be in the fight. The bottom of that NFC, the playoff bracket, they can sneak right in there, probably at 9-8. Like if they can get to 9-8, they can sneak in right there because they're fighting with possibly just the Seahawks and whoever out the NFC South if they try to get in there, because they're gonna try to keep that a quick a race, because the Cowboys gonna get a slot. Like they could be right there and they're gonna be still be a first round exit, but they probably still get it at 9-8. They probably still get a draft pick, and they probably could still get a quarterback anyway. They already missed they probably opportunity to probably try and take. They should have just lost the game, but it's Kirk Cousins. He's not gonna just go out there and lose games. They probably end up 9-8. Sneak into the playoffs, lose first round. Kirk Cousins walk, and they still draft the quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's too late for them to really go for Caleb unless they want to throw the farm at him. Unless you want to throw a bunch of draft picks, which, to be honest, you could do. A team with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Caleb Williams, right? Like that looks pretty scary for the future. So if you want to throw draft picks at him, I get it. Their defense is still an issue, so you can't give away too many assets because you still need to address that. But this team's just confusing to me. I still don't think they're that going to be like that good. I think they're a first round exit if they make the playoffs. 8-9, 7-10, 9-8, somewhere in that group right now. But like looking at these next couple of games, I think it's just so much more likely that they lose one of them than that they would win out with these next 6. I think it's more likely that they play the Saints and they get messed up, or they tweak in an in-division rivalry game, right? They lose the Packers or something. Like I'm just thinking that it's going to be some sort of like mistake that messes them up. I'd be surprised. if the Vikings could go and win 6 straight. I don't think that's going to happen. I think there are winnable games. What, they play the Saints, Falcons,
They play
Packers,
the Saints. No, they play the
Bears.
Saints. Yeah, they play the Falcons, Saints, Broncos, Bears, Raiders, and then they play the
Packers.
Bengals, Lions. You know what I'm
They
saying?
can go 4-2. They can
Yeah.
go 4-2 and be 7. Would that be 7-5?
But then I think they get Philly later on.
Now they play Philly already.
They play Philly already. Their schedule is really like.
Okay, so they still play the Lions twice. That could be 2 losses. Bengals, I'll just say, yeah, so that's 3.
Lions could get thrown on.
Huh?
Lions could get thrown on, and if they're winning, Justin Jefferson is coming back.
The only thing that I'm looking at is they play the Lions on January 7th. This looks to be the last week. So if the Lions have the division locked up too, they're resting them. So that could be a win if they're trying to fight for playoff spot. But it's an in-division rivalry game, so I don't think you're going to rest players for that. But yeah, like they could beat the Falcons, they could beat the Broncos, they could beat the Bears, they could beat the Packers, the Raiders. I think the Saints are a weird team. They play them at home, but I think they could still lose to the Saints.
Kirk Cousins pulling the Saints. The Vikings actually usually have the Saints number.
I think okay, well the one game didn't count. I'm sorry. The Minnesota Miracle fake game.
In the playoff game.
I think they will
in the regular season game. Huh?
I think they will lose one of the games between the Falcons, Broncos, and Raiders. Those are all on the road.
No,
I don't think they win all 3 of those.
They're not losing one of those. I don't think. I think the game they're going to lose is probably to the Bengals, and I think
game stretch, they could go 4-2 and be right in the middle of the playoff race.
They lose the Bengals and the Saints probably.
I don't know. I don't like competing just to know you're going to get bounced round 1. You know what I'm saying? Like I think if they run it back with a healthy Niners team, they lose. If they play the Eagles, they lose. I think if they play the Lions, they lose. If they play Dallas, I think they lose.
But there's no incentive for them to try and tank out now because they're not going to get the position that they need to actually.
But a 7-8 overall pick is still worth more than a 15 or 16th overall pick, right?
Not if you overdraft quarterback. If you could get Michael Penix at 12, why move up to 7 and take him if you could get him at 12?
No, I'm just saying, like I don't know who they want, right? I don't know what quarterback they're thinking of. But if you would obviously rather have Drake May than Michael Penix, this has got to be an inside the GM kind of talk. Like you got to think about what quarterbacks you want and where you want to position yourself. It's a lot easier to move up to 5 from 8 than 5 from 15, right? You're giving up a lot more assets from there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I think there is some value in still trying to lose games. But yeah, I mean, if they want Penix, if Penix is their guy at the end of the day, then sure, keep trying to be competitive because I think he could be a mid-first rounder.
All right, we talked about that for a while. Let's get on to the next game. The Bills lost to the Patriots. This is the second week they've looked disappointing, and we probably gonna start with Q on this because this is basically a scene. Third straight week, yeah, they did lose to the Jaguars. So they've been underwhelming. Their defense took some losses, but Josh Allen hasn't played up to his standards the way he can play in the regular season, and postseason play as well. So I'm gonna come to you first on this, Q. Do you think the Bills are still a contender in the AFC?
For the simple fact that they have a top 5 quarterback, you kind of have to say they're contenders. But the way the team is looking, like the injuries are stacking up, and there's no like real immediate fixes for the team. Like just 2 injuries that at 2 key important positions for the team itself. They're just not coming back. They have an opportunity to make a trade, go get a cornerback, but that corner that they're getting is going to have to be cornerback 1, and there's still a drop off from Tre'Davious White, even though he was coming off an injury. The offense, like the defense can be whatever it is. The offense can still put up points. They're supposed to be putting up points, but they're starting off slow. They're starting off sluggish. They're coming out, unengaged. But in the fourth quarter, Josh Allen going for 2 touchdowns, in the fourth quarter in the past 3 games, trying to will a team back. You should have just been doing that in the first part, in the beginning. Things are just looking a little choppy. People getting, antsy. He's making like undisciplined throws. He's doing dumb, like he's getting faked out. He said he's thinking too much. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe like the whole he's a turnover guy thing probably getting to his head. He's trying to not make mistakes, and it's still leading to mistakes. But it's like the interception on the first play of the game, you can get over that. Like turnovers like that, you can get over that because it's the first play of the game. You clearly see they still had a shot to go win it at the end. It just certain drives they'll get stalled, they get flagged. get pushed back. Now they force some 3 and outs. It's like the offense just not clicking. I think they will click eventually. It's just right now it just look bad.
Yeah, I think. Did you ask if they were still contenders?
Yeah.
I did.
As long as they still have Josh Allen, I will still consider them a contender. He has these turnover games, right? Like he can be a little touchy with his turnovers, get a little happy with throwing the ball. But Josh Allen is still a top 3 quarterback in the league, undoubtedly top 2 probably. I still have confidence in Josh Allen. Their offense, it can fire when it needs to. I think injuries, if they can just get to the playoffs, I think they will be healthy, and the defense will look a little bit better. But what, you don't think injuries are going to be healthy?
Matt Milano and 2 of their biggest players on defense are out for the season, so the playoffs are not going to.
Milano, wait, Trey White, and what's Milano's though? I didn't think Milano.
He's I think he broke a leg.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know Milano's out for
they only can fix one position. It's either corner or linebacker. If they fix corner, they should be fine. Their linebacker play hasn't been.
Say they're still in the trade deadline. They're still in the trade rumors. Like the more and more I keep seeing about Jalen Johnson going there is sad because I love Jalen Johnson, but if they could pick up another cornerback, that'd be crazy. But yeah, I mean they still have Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer. They still have they still have guys. You know what I'm saying? Like they just have to start playing together as a unit. They have big holes, right? Your number 1 cornerback and your number 1 linebacker out. That's tough, right? You got to band together though, and you got to start replacing that. So they've been a good defensive unit the past couple of years. When Von Miller went out last year, I know they were pretty bad though. So it's just a matter of they're going to find that over time. They're a good enough defense where they're going to find that over time. I'm not super worried about it, but especially when it comes like the quarterback play, I will trust Josh Allen. I'm like, when it comes to if a team's a contender or not, like for me, it's all about like you got to look at the quarterback play, right? Like, do you trust this person? Go on a drive in the late 4th quarter of an AFC NFC championship game. Like when you look at the past couple of Super Bowl winners, besides like Matt Stafford, and I still think Matt Stafford's a great quarterback. There's not many people jumping out to you like this guy's not a great quarterback and should have won, right? Like it's great quarterbacks win Super Bowls. So like that's why I think 49ers, I think they're a great team, but I don't know if they get over the hump. I still think the Chiefs are the team to beat. And I do trust Josh Allen and the Bills to get a game done, win a couple games in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to win it. I do think when comparing them to the Chiefs, I don't think they're as sound as at all. Like the offensive KC is better and the defensive KC is better, but I'm not picking the Bills, or I am picking the Bills over a good amount of other AFC teams.
All right. For me, right now, through 8 weeks, the Bills are not contenders. Josh Allen is a top 3 quarterback, undoubtedly, and it does give you a puncher's chance. But we've seen over the last 3 seasons, since Josh Allen has got Stephon Diggs, this offense has become too Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs eccentric. And I don't think with this defense being as bad as it is because of the injuries, that they'll be able to win enough games against the Ravens, against the Chiefs, teams like that, in order for them to actually get into a Super Bowl, AFC Championship type of game. They might not even win their division. That might be the Dolphins. So then they're going to be in a wild card game, possibly on the road. The stakes are just going to be stacked up against them. So I don't think this team is a contender. I think it's probably a first or division round exit in the playoffs. And that's not because Josh Allen is a turnover machine or because Stephon Diggs is not good in the playoffs, which he has not seen. Well, as far as with the Bills, he's been a little bit underwhelming. It's because the defense is injured. That's the most primary concern for me. I don't like the play calling from it's Ken Dorsey. I really don't like the play calling from him. They need a wide receiver too because Gabe Davis again it's still not it. So they have some moves to make, and if they don't make a move, I'm definitely not calling them a contender. You need to go out and get a cornerback or a linebacker, and then you need to go out and get a wide receiver too. I just saw Q say Hunter Renfrow is on the market, which is someone they could possibly target. They have to make a move for sure. And if they don't, they're not considered. No.
What linebackers on the market?
There's no linebackers on the market unless they're trying to go like Devin White and Tampa. They're not really on the same wavelength. You could try and get Devin White, but you got to pay Devin White.
And I don't think receivers. There's tons of receivers and tons of cornerbacks. I don't know many linebackers out right now though.
Yeah, you would have to offer up a lot. Like Devin White is on the if he's on the market, you gotta give up at least a second or a third for Devin White. I don't think they'll do that because they're gonna have to use their second round pick on a corner like a Dory Jackson, Kendall Fuller, maybe Jalen Johnson. The people out there, unless they want to throw the sink and try to go all out this season. Give Denver 2 first round picks and a third or whatever.
PS2. You can get PS2. What if they got PS2 and Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy? You fix 2 holes.
If they could
get
get
Sutton and PS2.
if they get that package, they can somehow get that 2 first, 2 seconds, or like 2 first, 2 seconds for both. Like I'd take Judy because he's younger.
I don't think 2 first, 2 seconds. I think it'd be a first and a second because they want a first for PS2, right?
They want it probably starts at a first, but they could probably definitely try to scheme 2 first. But it's just one corner, but it's a young corner.
Has Judy's value gone down? Because I know they wanted a first for him too.
Yeah, his value going down. You could probably get both for one.
A first, a third, like a first, third, a fifth.
You give up a 1 and a 3, and maybe like
a late round
like
pick
one of the wide receivers like Hardy or Sheffield. You'll find. They'll get it done.
I'm saying if you can get PS2, that assesses. I mean, it's the best cornerback in the market, better than Jalen Johnson. And then I do like Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton a lot. I think if you put those guys on contenders, like I think they're good receivers. I get Hunter Renfro's more like a kind of like a yak guy, right? Like just doing like little. He's like more of a slot guy, and that helps. But I don't know
because Kincaid was the slot guy, but Kincaid has to play tight end 1 because Dawson Knox is going to be on IR for the next 4 weeks. That doesn't mean he's
3 right now.
Huh?
Who's the wide receiver?
Deontay Hardy, wide receiver 3. Then it's Trent Sherfield. Then it's Kahil Shakir. But who they get in for like 2 plays a game. It doesn't really matter.
All right, let's move on to the next game and last game as far as the NFL. We see the Eagles dominated the Dolphins. And when I say dominate, I mean they dominated the time possession. They dominated the line of scrimmage. I feel like so obviously the score wasn't really indicative of that. Me watching the game personally, I feel like they were in control for most of the game. The Eagles, the Dolphins, they have a chance to tie it up 24-24, I believe. But then Tyreek Hill dropped that touchdown to tie the game. But I feel like they were able to keep the Dolphins off the field for so long. That's why I play dominate in this title. Talk to me, Max.
Without that pick six, it's 31-10. Like without that pick six was a fluky pick six. It deflected off the guy's hand, goes straight to I don't even know who got it. But like that's not a bad read by Jalen Hurts. It deflected. Like that's a tough. Like I'm sorry, that's tough. Like I'm not gonna blame Jalen Hurts that much for it. Maybe it could be a better read, but we're looking at a 31-10 game. That's a bad look.
Either way, it's 31-17 because if he doesn't get that pick six, Tyreek Hill probably still catches that touchdown. So like either way, this probably was going to be the same score. And like people should have known this from the Dolphins. If you can throw the ball and like I know I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts guy. Like I said, I'm not like a one-hit wonder kind of trying to do it. I don't need you to I need to see it twice. Jalen Hurts can still throw the ball. Let's not like act like he doesn't have AJ Brown or Devontae Smith. AJ Brown can literally torch it. If they have a true wide receiver 1 going against that defense, he's going to torch them. We've seen that already this season. And he did what he did. Jalen, like you said, the pick six was fluky. It would have probably been a perfect game basically from Jalen Hurts. The Dolphins defense doesn't allow them to be real contenders like at all. And I knew this going into the season. Like I said it. Like the defense just not good. They thought Vic Fangio was going to come to save him. He ain't clock in yet. And I know Jalen Ramsey, he's about to be on the way, but he still got to ramp up. And Xavier Howard, he's still in and out with injury. It's just not going to get there. They could get to the quarterback here and there, but that only works so much if your secondary can't hold up. And they don't really got nobody back there.
I think one of their key players, Jalen Fields was injured throughout this entire season. And so now that he's back and a little bit healthy, they have been able to get to the quarterback more. And so that's going to be important for this defense. They do need Jalen Ramsey. And so we can evaluate it until Jalen Ramsey comes back, but he's ramping up so far. Wasn't Xavier Howard out this game as well?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a crazy dominant game from Jalen Hurts or the passing game. I don't feel like. It was really just A.J. Brown being A.J. Brown. We did have a topic on A.J. Brown and, compare him to other wide receivers in the league, but maybe we'll talk about that in a later day. If he continues to go on this hot streak, then we'll definitely talk about him. But for time purposes, and we got to talk about the NBA, we're not going to speak on that. But yeah, A.J. Brown was amazing. 5 straight games with 125 yards. Jalen Hurts I think he had a good game. He wasn't anything crazy. They were able to run the ball, and this tush push thing, man, Jesus Christ. It literally makes it unstoppable to get them off the field. It's crazy. I don't know what the NFL is going to do about that in the off season. But yeah, the Eagles have found their identity. They're going to dominate time possession. They're going to run the ball, and then once you commit to the run, they're going to play action, and they're going to hit A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith on slants and then deep shots. So they found their identity. They where we were shaky about them. They took a loss to the Jets, who were amazing defense. Then they bounced back with a dominant win over the Dolphins. This was a game where I feel like if the Dolphins would have won, that we would have put them in that. Okay, this is they haven't beat a real team. They haven't beat a good team yet. We'll be honest. They have not beaten
the Dolphins. The Dolphins, the Eagles.
Yeah, the Dolphins have not beat one good team this entire season. And so my next question was: are the Dolphins a contender? We're going to do the tier list later as well. The Dolphins, for me, are in the same bucket as the Bills. They're not a contender just because the fact that the defense is so bad. They have trouble stopping the run. They have trouble stopping the pass. You can score on this team, and like we continue to say, the AFC has the best offenses in the NFL. And if they can't stop the best offenses in the NFL, they will not be making the Super Bowl. And then Tua has dropped off his play a little bit since the season has wore on, especially when he plays good teams. We've seen the games against the Eagles and the Bills. He has not had his best games. He wasn't terrible or anything like that, but he's not having his best games. So he's got to outplay. Yeah. So Lamar Jackson MVP so far this season. Which is my pick. It was my pick.
No, it wasn't. Season, it wasn't. You picked T-Law.
I only said Jalen Hurts.
That was me and Q. No, it was me.
I only said Jalen Hurts. I said on the podcast, I only said Jalen Hurts because y'all said Lamar. Everybody else said Lamar Jackson. On God.
Wait, no. You picked, did you not pick Trevor Lawrence?
We go.
Trevor Lawrence?
No, I picked Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I don't know about that. All I know is me and Q both had Lamar, and I know you did not have Lamar.
Listen.
I said Jalen Hurts because everybody.
Howie Roseman is a genius. Bro got A.J. Brown and Kevin Byard for Traylon Burks a 5th and a 6th.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Kevin Byard yet.
Nah, you know what? That's all you need to know. Like they got an all-pro safety for nothing, for pennies. They don't even really even have to pay him. They just try and fix the secondary now. They think they got a shot to get to a Super Bowl. Howie Roseman just be. I don't understand how they just be allowing him to do that. Like if you knew he was on the phone trying to get Kevin Byard, I think the thing to do is just outbid him and stop him from getting better. Like sometimes you just got to do that, even if you don't even need the safety. Just take away the option. Like just take away the option. How he's be bank robbing, like he's a bank robber. Like it's crazy.
How much is well? Does this move you guys? Is Philly over San Fran, or you guys still have San Fran as one in the NFC?
Oh no, it's Eagles. The Eagles. San Fran has lost 2 straight. And then the Eagles just beat, a great Dolphins team where the 49ers lost to the Vikings. So I have as far as huh?
No, I was gonna say it's the Eagles. If Jalen Hurts could keep the turnover down, it's the Eagles for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. All right, let's. I don't know how long Max gonna be here.
No, I gotta go. I'm out.
All right, Max out of the class. All right, see you, man. We're gonna get into our NFL tiers. Let me see if I can. Yeah, that's fine. Let me see if I can change this real quick. Nope, too close. All right, there you go. All right, we got NFL tiers. I'm gonna put the. Hold on. Present screen. All right. Let me know what you can see. You can see the screen. So we got NFL tiers through 7 weeks or 8 weeks now, basically, of the season. So the tier list is named Super Bowl favorites, number 1 contenders. There's a shot that they can, make some noise in the playoffs. They're playoff bound. Not good, not bad. And we have Caleb sweepstakes. So I think you can get the number 1s out the way. Honestly, we know the Chiefs are probably the best team in the AFC right now. They've showed that since week 1, they have not lost a game.
It's the Eagles up there.
The Eagles and 49ers are kind of honestly on the same tier for me right now. Probably. They're separated by the game, but I think the 49ers roster is better. They are going through some injury problems right now. The secondary is starting to look a little bit questionable. Javarius Ward is playing good, but their TB2 situation is not ideal. Do you have any You got any pushback to me putting them on the championship favorites here?
No, the 49ers?
Yeah.
No, I said a lot about those 2 games. It doesn't really move me that much. Like I was just doing that for Brock Purdy purposes.
Okay. Number 1 contenders, I think that's the Ravens. The Ravens 35 35-0. We haven't talked about them today, but 35-0 win against the Lions. Lamar is the MVP of the league right now. Defense looks amazing. Offense is coming along. I think with me, it's just how are the weapons going to translate to playoffs? Can we trust them on a game-to-game basis? So yeah, and they also need to probably make a trade for a running back. They're in the market right now for Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, which I think they need to go ahead and pull the trigger on it as time. You
Yeah,
gotta take that step. So
the running back by committee thing that doesn't really move me too much because like you know me, I don't think all running backs the same. Like I don't believe in two persons 1,000 yards ain't the same to me. I mean, I think Derrick Henry and or Saquon to just push that offense over the top because they'll really be able to get 3, 4, 5 yards a pop. Derrick Henry, you get 5 yards a pop from Derrick Henry in that offense, you're gonna be moving. Like you don't even have to necessarily rely on the receivers that much because you got your safety net.
do we have any other number one contenders as far as the AFC or NFC?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's a gap between the Ravens and a lot of other teams right now.
Yeah, there's a
I
shot.
think right now the Jaguars have a shot. Honestly, I think the Cowboys have a shot still.
Yeah,
The Bills have a shot.
Miami gets the same because they have the same issues, but offensively they should have a shot to do anything. I don't know how you feel about the Lions, but based on record, if they get a good matchup in the first round, they'll be in a divisional round, and if you're in the original round, you have a shot to do anything. Playoff bound, definitely the Browns. I feel like the Browns right now, or they have a shot. They put them in playoff bound.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't think they got it. I don't think they got a shot to do anything in the playoffs. Deshaun is horrible.
What about the Steelers? Are they also playoff bound? Because right now, I don't know how the last season going to work out.
They could be if they could. Kenny Pickett in the fourth quarter has been damn near elite. Like it's just a tough first 3 quarters, but their defense should keep them in games. They're like the Browns. They just got to be right at the end. Like they have to just make those timely plays be good in the margins.
Man, the NFC South is so like messed up. You can't even put one of them like playoff bound. Like I don't even know. Like
I think for right now. Oh wait, put the Seahawks playoff bound.
Okay.
And
any other team in the playoff bound? Rams are almost there, but they're not. Rams are almost there, but they're not. Bro.
Not good, not bad. That's where you probably put the whole NFC South except for the Panthers.
Yep, not really good, not bad. The Falcons are not a good team. Well, they just need a quarterback upgrade. I think the Saints probably win the division and make the playoffs, honestly.
Their defense is gonna keep them in games. Oh no.
You think the Packers suck or what's going on?
I don't think the Packers are good.
I don't either.
I don't think they're good at all.
So you think they're bad?
Yeah. I think they probably draft a quarterback. I think Washington is not good, not bad. Like they're gonna because they're like late season. They'll probably get some wins that are probably like even out the record and make them like a mid team.
Not good, not bad. You can put the Jets there. It's so many teams that are not. It's so many mid teams. Like the Giants suck.
The Colts aren't good. They're not good, not bad. Same thing with the Texans.
Also, yep.
See, a lot of those mid teams right there are not good, not bad. They just need a quarterback, and they can drastically change.
Bro, the Chargers also are not good, but are not terrible.
Defense is horrendous.
I think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs.
I don't know.
I think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs.
If you go playoff man, I'd put the whole. You guys have to put the whole AFC North because the Steelers right now are ahead of them, and I'm pretty sure they got the head-to-head. Well, they haven't played the Steelers yet.
So you want to put them where in the not good, not bad? I think the Bengals are a good team. They just have been dealing with injuries.
So put them playoff bound. They can sneak in at the end.
Okay. How many playoff teams we got then? So we got 1, 2, 3 for the NFC right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then
Need
one of the
one
teams
more.
from the NFC South. Yep,
Uh,
that's probably how it shape out.
right now, you probably got to go Saints.
Okay. All right. Then the Panthers suck. They suck as well. Raiders are also terrible. Oh my God, there's so many teams in this tier. And then we're gonna put the Steelers are not good, not bad. Honestly, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. They have a chance though for sure.
Yeah, they're 4 and
How you
2.
looking at this tier? How you have the tier list looking right now? You think it's accurate?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, but when people see it, it look weird. Like, why is there so many teams at the bottom? It's just we got a lot of bad teams, like, or just not like teams that's like some of them are not for like a reason. Like the Texans, they starting a rookie quarterback. Jets quarterback got injured. Minnesota don't have their number one weapon, and they don't have a defense. And Kirk was making some timely mistakes. Steelers are 4 and 2, but you don't. I guess people don't expect them to continue being a 4 and 2 team. And somebody has to make it from the NFC South, but they just not good. So it's like it's whatever. And then the bottom row, they don't got good quarterbacks. But
All right, let me see how
was
many AFC teams we got in the playoffs right here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already up here. So the 7th is we don't have an AFC team over here. Oh, we got we got eight playoff teams right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we got 7. Am I tripping? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7, 8.
Lions ain't in the AFC.
No, wait, am I tripping?
Yeah, you
1,
counted the Lions.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I'm tripping. All right, so I mean, I think that's pretty accurate. I'm gonna take a picture of that real quick. Why is it on me? Okay, I'll do it later. Anyways, that's our NFL tier list through basically 7 weeks, heading into week 8. Now it's time to get in the NBA. It was an exciting opening night. The Nuggets face off. They got the rings at home. The crowd was electric. They dominated the Lakers. The Lakers they showed some fight, but I think the Nuggets controlled this game for the majority of it. I don't know after like about the first quarter if the Lakers actually got a lead again throughout this entire game. Let's talk about. Can you talk to me about your key takeaways from this game?
D'Lo shouldn't be playing 36 minutes. And he shouldn't be. I understand LeBron's on a minute restriction, but if he's asking to go in, or he's telling you that he could play, I think you just let him play. Especially it's the first game of the season. I don't think you have to, watch his minutes tonight, like or not tonight, but the other night. Like I don't think that's the day to watch, watch his minutes, especially against the Nuggets. All the chitter chatter and whatnot. If he's telling you he can play point, let him play point. I think I was saying the other day I would like if we go back to 2020. When LeBron was full-time point guard, just throw 3 wings out there, Anthony Davis, and see what we could do. Because Torian Prince looked good. He came out firing. He played defense. He was, playing in all those pick action. He was chasing around, the screens for Jamal Murray and whatnot. Anthony Davis, the first half, he was looking okay. And then the second half, he just tailed off. I don't know what happened. That's a trend because he's not always great offensively every night. He's just here and there. But, like, for us to reach that ceiling, he has to be a 25 point per game guy like every night, like especially if they're gonna keep LeBron under 30 minutes. Anthony Davis is gonna have to take a bulk of that load. Austin Reeves ain't really go off, but I don't think people thought Austin Reeves was gonna be a consistent like 20 points per game. Like he's gonna get there. It's the first night, but all in all, it's like you've seen what you've seen already. It's they just got to win in the margins. They just didn't do that on the opening night. I think we'll look better like a month in. So like I don't really want to take too much from this game.
It is game 1, but my biggest takeaway from opening night is we cannot rely on LeBron James in year 21 at 38 years old to be our number 1 option. It's just not going to work like that. We will not win a championship with LeBron James as our number 1 option. Anthony Davis came over here to be the best player, and that's what he has to do. He can have a second half where he just goes 0 for 6, stops shooting, stop being aggressive, doesn't find a shot. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I don't know, man. It's like, and once LeBron goes off the court, we are terrible, offensively and defensively. -14 as soon as he goes to the bench. We're down 4, knocking on the door to to compete in the game in the fourth quarter. Darvin Ham takes LeBron off the court, and immediately we go down 11. Darvin Ham's rotations were terrible tonight. I mean, not tonight. Two nights ago, he had rotations without LeBron and Austin Reeves and Anthony Davis for significant minutes in the first half. Like, what was that? Why am I seeing lineups with D'Angelo Russell, Cam Reddish, Gabe Vincent, and Jackson Hayes? Like, that is terrible offensively and defensively. It's like he has to improve. Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't learned his lesson. It's only one game. Can't panic too much, but there is no way that the Lakers are going to be able to see this season deep in the postseason against the Nuggets primarily with Anthony Davis not being our best offensive player and defensive player. Like, Anthony Davis is one of the best defenders of our generation, and he cannot do anything with Jokic. Not a single thing. One-on-one. It's insane. It's so hard to wrap my head around. Like, all this game show for me, another takeaway, all this game show for me, Nikola Jokic is clearly the best player in the NBA. It's not a debate at all. He is unstoppable offensively. This man has one of the greatest offensive peaks we've ever seen in NBA history.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Did you notice he had a triple-double?
Yeah, I knew. Because they said it on the broadcast at the end of the game. I didn't know, watching the game, no, okay, you had to sound off. Watching the game, no, you wouldn't know he had all them assists. No. I didn't see the assists. The rebounds and points, definitely, yeah. I didn't see the assists. But he might have a top 5 offensive peak ever just because one-on-one, he's unstoppable. He's unguardable. In the post, that's one of the most efficient plays. Nikola Jokic post-up is one of the most efficient plays in basketball right now. And then he's arguably a top 3 playmaker in NBA right now. You can argue that he's the best playmaker in NBA right now. He's an amazing passer. He has on-ball and off-ball gravity. So this game just, remind us, because we had 3 months off. Nikola Jokic was talking about he barely cared about basketball. He was seen in the clubs partying. All these narratives about he's not marketable. He comes in, night one, dominates Anthony Davis, dominates the Lakers. They dominate us again at home. I don't think we're going to beat him at home. I don't think we beat them at home ever. Like, it's so hard. The crowd is electric. They were chanting, "Who's your daddy?" It's all the narratives around. It's insane. Let's talk about some other players, though. LeBron was great in the time he played. Taurean Prince was looking like the best signing of the offseason. 3 indeed, knocking down the 3 ball was I like that out of him. D'Angelo Russell, people get D'Angelo Russell a lot. I didn't think he played that bad. I mean, defensively, he showed some signs. He talked about being Derek White before the season started. He has some great hands throughout the season, but his shot wasn't falling. He was making low IQ decisions sometimes. Like you see the highlight play where LeBron is on the wing on the block calling for the ball, and he didn't give himself, and he shot a pull-up 3. So he did shoot the ball well, but he had 7 assists, and he had many turnovers. So he and LeBron had a good 2-man game going. He obviously needs to be better, but people are going to over-exaggerate it. It's one game. I don't think he was not good at all, no. But he wasn't like – he had 7 assists with a low turnover margin.
Yeah,
so we got to give him some credit. Yeah, so he obviously has to play better, but, this is D-Lo. He's going to have his highs. He's going to have his lows. We know this. Austin Reeves was not good, to be honest. He got to the line, I guess, but he didn't really impact the game on offense really well or defense really well. So, I mean, this Austin Reeves, I fully believe in him. I think he'll be better. Who am I missing? Gabe Vincent was terrible. I think he was like a negative 22. His minutes were terrible. Christian Wood did not play nearly enough. Who else? Cam Reddish was good defensively. That's about it, though.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like that.
We got no Max Christie minutes. I don't know what that was about. We just put him on the floor. I don't know.
Wait,
what that was about.
Didn't I tell you Cam Reddish was gonna get who's gonna play before Max Christie was gonna play?
Hey, if he plays good defensively, I'm fine with it. But he needs to bring something on the offense, and we need shooters. We need people to knock down threes, and I don't know. If he plays good defensively, I'm not mad at it. Who else?
He just got to flow. Like he just has to let it come to him in that offense. Working with Phil Handy should get him right.
Rui was underwhelming. Rui wasn't good. But I mean, like I said, I believe in Rui as well. I believe in his depth. But we had the question about the Nuggets' depth coming into the season thoroughly thoroughly outplayed our bench players. Thoroughly, like they didn't miss a beat when Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray went off the floor.
I hated the Reggie Jackson wasting MLE on him. He played fine. He played all right. I'm cool with that. The Jokic, the minutes when Jokic off is still, a question. But if they already ahead so much, and all the bench has to do is, do a little bit, to keep that lead until Jokic comes back on, and that's exactly what they did. Like we didn't capitalize nearly as much as we should have on that. But it's the first game. Let's see what it looks like. 40 games in, when the rotations are tighter, everybody knows what they're doing and where they are.
You got some really good Christian Braun minutes. Got some good Reggie Jackson minutes. Peyton Watson was okay in his minutes. KCP, oh my God, he always kills us. I don't know why, but I kind of miss KCP. He like his defense was amazing. His 3-point shooting was amazing. I think he had about 20 points. When you get 20 points with KCP, it's going to be hard to win the game. I'm not gonna lie. Michael Porter Jr. was not good. But he had a timely 3 down the stretch. A big thing for me is the Lakers' defensive rotations were terrible. Oh my God! Like we were so confused on how to guard Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray pick and roll. We haven't played them before. I don't know what that was about.
It wasn't a lot of talking. It was a lot of people just getting lost and acting like they wasn't getting lost. Like I said, I just want things to be tighter, and I know that's gonna come with time. You just got to see what it looks like later on. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth because they basically beat us 5 games in a row. It's whatever. All the talk, it just looks bad, but it's a fun story. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool for that's going to be a story all year.
Screen navigation wasn't good. The paint defense wasn't good. Nikola Jokic was dominating the boards. Aaron Gordon was dominating mismatches. Aaron Gordon was amazing on opening night. And so the paint defense, rotations, rebounding was not good by any means. I think Anthony Davis needs to he got to wake up, man. We don't have a lot of time. Darvin Henderson improved. Hey, I'm gonna give him 2 games. I'll give him 2 games. We might have to make a change. I don't know. That's premature, but I don't know. Darvin Ham is certain situations where you shouldn't be displaying the same activity that you were last year. You just sit there all game with your hands in your pockets, just not calling any timeouts. Like they're going on runs. Stop the bleeding, please. Mike Malone calls a timeout after 4 straight points. He'll call a timeout. They go on a small run. Mike Malone calls a timeout. It's just different. The coaching is insane with this team, and that's going to be a problem going into the playoffs. We may have to see them in the West Conference Finals again. And I want the Lakers to make the finals this year, and I want them to win it. And I don't know how they're going to be able to do that, getting past Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. As of right now, I don't see the formula for us to beat them at all in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
There's no formula for the best. There's no formula for the best player in the league. There's no formula for him. You just have to be I understand it's hard to just say we're gonna let him go off, worry about everybody else. But the thing is, he's just not gonna let you not let them get on, because he's just so willing to give them, get them involved and get them shots. He will score if he has to, but he knows him scoring 47 doesn't always mean they're gonna win. So that's why it's hard to guard a player like him. But on offense, there's no whatever. You just got to try your hardest and hope for a miss. That's just what it is at this point.
All right, let's move on to the Suns. They nearly escaped the Warriors in their win on opening night. We saw an amazing game from Devin Booker, 32 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, on 61% from the field. So he was amazing. I want to talk about Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. You think there's a chance that Devin Booker is the best player for the Suns this year and he becomes a better player than Kevin Durant this season?
For sure. For sure. You already seen the trend. The moment Kevin, not even on some Kevin Durant's a bum, because that's kind of what it boils down to. A lot of people it's cool to hate on Kevin Durant, but all of that be narrative. But the moment he got to the Suns, Devin Booker, it's not like Devin Booker iced him out or anything. It's just Devin Booker didn't concede to Kevin Durant he's the best player in the league or best player on the team. He just went out and played his game. And since he's a guard, he's going to have the ball in his hand. He's making a lot more decisions, especially now, so they don't have no real point guard. And he's going to go out there, and a lot of decisions are going to be on him. And he's going to – at guard, he could find a mismatch anywhere, and he could score a plethora of ways. So he's always going to get his, whatever, his rocks off or whatever. Kevin Durant, at this point, he's taking not dumb shots, but he's taking a lot of tough shots, and he's not really, playing efficient basketball to his standards. So it's just going to be hard for him to always get, locked in and him, go for 30, 30, 30 like we normally seen him do. Like the last 2 seasons before this one, you seen him like be in the MVP race in the beginning because he started going off. I don't think he's gonna have room to do that on this team, but it's cool. Like if Kevin Durant's your second best player, you're still in a good spot. And that's just more for Devin Booker. It's time for him, really just separate himself, close the gap on certain conversations like between him and Jason Tatum. I know getting to Luka, that's a far stretch because Luka just, really ahead by against these people. But like in the grand scheme of things, like the gap, like between LeBron being there and him getting, young, like older, Devin Booker has a chance to like really establish himself, be, first team All NBA. If they can get to the finals, he wins the finals. He's probably gonna win Finals MVP, and that opens up a lot of things. It's just about how many games he plays and what he looks like in those games.
I agree. I think Devin Booker could definitely be better than Kevin Durant at the end of the season. He's going to have the opportunity. And at this point in his career, I think he's a better offensive player than him. He's better at getting to the basket. He's better at playmaking. And so that just opens up his game so much as a scorer. Kevin Durant is still lethal. He still can score at 2 levels. I don't think he's going to be able to get to the basket as once as he used to. I don't think that's a priority in his game no more. Like you say, he's taking a lot of tough shots. And it's only been one game, so we can't go crazy over the sample size. But over the last playoffs, he was doing that. The playoffs, and the one in Brooklyn as well, he was doing that. So if Kevin Durant is not able to get to the basket like he used to, I think it's going to severely hurt his offensive game. We've seen it over the last 2 seasons. And the regular season is not as apparent, but come playoff time, that's definitely going to be a narrative. So, and then Devin Booker is defensively sound. So I mean, which Kevin Durant's not bad defending anything like that. But yeah, he'll have the reins, like you said, in the offense because he'll probably be the point guard this season. So he'll have the usage. He'll have the ball in his hands, and he'll have the scoring output. And he could possibly be in the MVP debate, honestly. And it's kind of sad to see where LeBron just can't get his young player to take the reins, and Kevin Durant does. And LeBron have to sit here and backpack the team in year 21. It's insane. Let's talk about the Warriors. What do you see from the question coming in was how CP3 gonna feel with this team? What they're gonna look like with Draymond out for the first game. So, what did you really see from the Warriors? What was your key takeaways from them?
Wiggins didn't play well. Klay Thompson didn't play well. Chris Paul, he played Chris Paul basketball, but that was a lot of like Steph off minutes. Steph had 1 assist. He's not like, and maybe that's like a Chris Paul effect. I don't think that's going to last the rest of the season. A Steph Curry game with 1 assist. That just, Chris Paul had the ball a lot. Plus, Steph was in foul trouble. He was on the court. I don't think the small lineup ever really is going to work. Like, I don't think you run Steph Curry with another guard, like another small guard. I don't think like you should do that. Like, I still think CP3 should come off the bench so he could get 25, minutes a game with a different unit. So he could do the pat with a Kuminga and a Moody because they're not going to, beat anybody one-on-one. You could use Chris Paul in that type of setting. But this is the first game, and there was no Draymond, and it was a close game. Draymond kind of, offsets a lot of the, things, all the turnovers and whatnot. He fixes a lot of problems. I don't really think they have too much to worry about. Steph still basically had damn near 30. I think he's got to clean things up. Once everybody gets into the flow and everybody's in their position, this team might look better. Their issue still going to be rebounding. It's still going to be defense. You just hope that Draymond closed the gap just enough that they could always be in the game because you got Steph Curry.
Yeah, like you said, I like the Chris Paul minutes when Stephen Curry wasn't off the bench. It was a stretch in that third quarter. We know who the Warriors are. They outscored the Suns 40-19 in the third quarter. A lot of that was Chris Paul, and we were doing something we haven't seen him do in a while, which was get to the basket. He was creating for the Warriors. Kuminga gave some okay minutes, especially on the glass and defensively. What else do we see? Yeah, like you said, Klay Thompson, abysmal. I hope they're gonna keep up, but I don't know. He doesn't look like the same player. He doesn't look like the same player at all. Since he came back from the injuries, he doesn't look like the same player. He is not impactful defensively at all.
It's okay for him not to be who he was before. I think people aren't okay with that. It's okay. Like if he has to be a 4th best player on your team, I think you should be fine with that. And like that just, it makes it weird because he wants a lot of money. But I just think we want Klay to be who he is.
That's definitely a thing with his pending free agency coming up. Also, they got I think what is it? Oh, Moody. Moody has some good minutes defensively and offensively off the bench. Dario Saric has some good minutes, stretching the floor. But they definitely just got dominated on the boards. Looney did not like himself. He's always a monster on the rebounds. And Yusuf Nurkic, we talked about KD and Book, but Yusuf Nurkic was one of the better players for the Suns. Open tonight, he did a good job screening, playmaking, and getting rebounds. He's exactly what the Suns needed. I think you might have said that when they initially traded DeAndre Ayton for him. He's just going to be able to fit better. He's a glue guy. He doesn't need the ball instead of be effective, which DeAndre Ayton really did in that offense. So I just be positive.
My fault. I was about to say, you remember Nurkic was coming from a team where he was always used to being like the third guy because the two guys in front of him were ball dominant guards. So it's like he knows he was with ball dominant guards putting up 17 and 10, 19 and 10. I'm saying there's a reason why he got paid. Because he does a lot of the little things, and he's going to get involved when he gets involved. He doesn't have to like ask for the ball to get there. He's just going to get there by doing the little things like screening. He could connect on the pass. He rebounds. Like I said, he's not like a defensive stopper, but he's passable. He knows where to be, especially rebounding. That's how he ends possessions, and he fits it perfectly. He didn't have to scratch and claw for his 14 to 14. He just went out there and played basketball like we know he could play basketball.
Yep, Josh Kobe gave the Suns good business as well. He really disrupted Steph on a lot of shots. He's one of the best off-ball chasers and best point of attack defenders in the NBA right now, which he doesn't get a lot of credit for, and he's a good cutter. So offensively, he's not terrible. If you can find like an Aaron Gordon role in this offense, that would be perfect for him. I think that's a good comp. But back to the Warriors, though.
Aaron Gordon, I'd say Bruce Brown. If he could be there, like their version of Bruce Brown. But Aaron Gordon's cool because he plays big. Josh Okogie knows how to play big. He knows how to rebound. He knows where to be.
He got a 7 feet wingspan. It's insane. But for the Lakers, I'm not for Lakers. The Warriors' most encouraging thing this today was that when Curry went off the court, CP3 was able to establish that balance. And last year the biggest problem was non-Curry minutes, and if they can be that productive with them off the floor, this team sky is the limit. Well, not really. I don't think they're going to beat the Suns, but I mean the Suns are the Nuggets. But defense is going to be concerned, but Draymond will alleviate that somewhat. I like the motion offense they were running. The offense is going to be great. They were just missing a lot of open shots, a lot of open layups. Got to clean it up going forward in the season. But I'm not worried about them at all. They got Sacramento coming up twice, so those will be good games. And I think they might be both on the road. I don't really know. So let's see. We got to see how they'll be able to operate on the road this season as well. That was a big thing last season. Let's move into our biggest takeaways from day 2. Action-packed day 2. So many games. You can start though, because you know what I got to say.
Nah, I'm gonna let you get it because you said you were gonna talk about it. So let's talk about it, and then we can move on to other analysis.
The Pistons have a star in Cade Cunningham, and they do not need to mismanage him at all. This man, in his first night back, 30 points, no free throws, 13 to 27 shooting, was amazing from 3. Is finding his way to operate in the mid range. He is going to be one of the best pick and roll players in the entire NBA. He has the ceiling to be one of the best playmakers in the entire NBA. The Pistons need to surround him with better spacing, better talent. Jalen Duren, I think he's a part of the future. He has all-star upside. He is going to be a good rim protector, a good role man. He can continue to develop his skills. Outside of Asir Thompson, Jalen Duren, maybe Jalen Ivey, the rest of the team is expendable. I don't like Isaiah Stewart. I don't like James Wiseman. I don't like Marvin Bagley. Killian Hayes is terrible at basketball. I don't know why Monty Williams started him over Jaden Ivey. That's really, really telling to me, honestly, personally. Because if he was not better than Killian Hayes, I think
it was more that Monte Morris was out and they didn't have like a good lead backup guard, and Ivy could pretty much slide in and do that. He ain't really play well.
That's not the reason. Because they would just why would they book Killian Hayes in the second year then? It's because Ivy is terrible defensively. Ivy's terrible defensively. He's very bad. And
I don't know. I was just trying to find a way to excuse it.
He was terrible tonight. He was terrible. He was terrible last night too. He was trash. So he looks. It's one game, like can't overreact too much. But Jaden Ivey looks terrible. I am tired of watching Isaiah Stewart shoot threes. I don't know what's gotten to him. These two big lineups with Marvin Bagley or Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren, terrible, not good. Don't need to be happening. Killian Hayes or Jaden Ivey at this point, I don't feel like should start. It should be K Cunningham, Joe Harris. Who's gonna be the three?
Asar.
Asar is an option, but I like I'm blanking on his name. Alec Burks.
Oh, Burks. He's a. You need the scoring punch off the bench. You need people that can score like that on the bench. So like you don't really need Alec Burks to be in the starting line to get points because between Cade, if you playing how he played yesterday, and him getting everybody else involved, you'll generate the points in the starting lineup. But you need those players like Alec Burks and Monte Morris on the bench that they can go get a bucket or set something up to get a bucket, so that way they don't have to worry about running.
Was started last night?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, so they keep it short, I guess. He was
offensively, but he was locking up.
He was bad.
He was clamping.
All right, so the starting lineup should be K Cunningham, Joe Harris, Asar Thompson, Bojan when he comes back.
Yeah, and then Durham.
That should be the starting lineup. I want to Ivy. Yes, if Ivy comes back and plays well, that's fine. He can play. But Killian Hayes does not need to see any more minutes in his rotation ever again. When Monte Morris comes back, he needs to play. I'd rather play Marcus Sasser than Killian Hayes. No troll. I don't know why we paid Isaiah Stewart. Don't know why, but they did. I guess the contract can be movable, but he's not good. I'm sorry. I don't want to be harsh. He's just not good. Marvin Bagley is also not good, and we didn't really see much. I didn't really see much of James White in this game. So
he didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play. So, but you have a special talent here in K Cunningham. Do not mismanage him. We see what he can do. Let's put a great team around him. It's time for it because he can make this Shea type of lead. I believe in him. He can make this Shea type of lead this season. Not 30 points per game, but like a cool 24, a cool 8 assists, a cool 7 rebounds, 6 rebounds, something like that. I've seen it on Twitter. I've been seeing it on Twitter since last night. They said interesting development would be him making a Devin Booker type scoring lead, where as far as like the way he scores in the mid range, because obviously he's gonna be better playmaking than Devin Booker. I feel like, but if he's able to continue to operate in the mid range like this, get a post game, it's gonna be dark for the league, bro.
He has size, and the most important thing he has is patience. He's patient, and not because he goes about everything slow, but like he knows when to and when not to do things and know where and when to go. I said that yesterday about him getting in the post. He could get in the post more. Since he's a guard, he's gonna be trying to get mismatched onto other guards. Other guards in the post, you're gonna force somebody to help. And now he's unlocking everything. Especially you got Bojan and Joe Harris out there. That leaves a lot of things open. A lot of Asar cuts, a lot of Jalen Duren, cuts, a lot of extra passing, connecting and everything. It might make the offense pop. He's just gonna have to take advantage of everything that's given to him. It looks nice. Let's see the 3-ball, as the season goes along. Let's see that pull-up shooting, get better and better. And his pick and roll navigation, I'm already fine with it. He's right. If he can facsimile this for the rest of the season, obviously not 30, but somewhere, he's giving you 20 plus a night. He will kind of, make that leap. He'll probably be 25 points per game. And if he could be as efficient as he was, I'm fine with that. Like, I just want to see him on the court. But it looks great. I don't even care that it is day one. But hey, he's a star. People forgot Cade Cunningham was because we haven't seen him. That's it. Like he's him. Let's do what you can. Surround him with talent because it's coming up. It's his 3rd year. He's eligible for extension. I think you pay him. And now you just gotta put it together. You got a shot in about 2 years for this to really be a good team.
What are your other takeaways from the large slate of games last night?
Dallas. Wemby was out for a lot of stretch of games. Like he basically played 16 minutes, through 3 quarters. And it was a nip and tuck ball game the whole way through. So yeah, like you were right. Like, defense is not there yet. Like I'm hoping it gets better as the season goes along. Maybe it's some continuity. Maybe it's like they make a move for like a perimeter guy, something like that. But between Kyrie not being as efficient as he was, and them not just being able to defend in general, it should have been that close of a game because the talent gap is immense after Wemby's off the court. But somehow, the Spurs they was making shots. Devin Vassell was dissecting them. He was off the pick in action. He was coming up, hitting mid-range shots, doing what he do. It came down to the end. Luka just being who Luka is. That's the only reason why they kind of gutted out that game. Kyrie did, go in the clutch. So it's like it's not like Luka did all by himself, but he damn near did. Got some defensive stops, and that's what really changed the game. But also Derek Lively, he came out and played well. 16 and 10, a plus 20, had a block, missed one shot. Like he came out and did exactly what he needed to do, just screen and dive and be in certain spots so he could get a hand on the ball. And he just has to do that for the rest of the season. I think if he could continue on this pace with Luka already likes him. Halfway through the season, he might be able to actually a starting center in the league.
I agree. The Dallas defense was concerning last night. I honestly don't know. Like, if they don't patch it up, I don't know if they're going to be able to compete in the West. Like, they were in a hard-fought game with the Spurs. I know it's game one, but, like, the Spurs offense is not great. And Wemby wasn't even as good as he can be. So, I just don't know. I can't see them. Like, who are they going to be able to stop? Their point of attack defense is not great. The rim defense is not great outside of Derek Lively. Derek Lively had an amazing night. Loved the pick. But yeah, I'm very, 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 very concerned. Very concerned about the Mavericks. Honestly, I know it's game one, but I am concerned about them. Also, another takeaway: the Bulls, after one game, had a players only meeting after one game. That is a red flag. That is concerning. Why are you having a players only meeting after the first game of the season? I get it if you're trying to lock in and you see some things that may be disturbing after the first week or the first game, but like, come on, that is disturbing. That's really like a pondering thought. Like, y'all had players only meeting after one game. That's cause for panic. That's cause for concern. This team has a short leash. If they're not good by the deadline, which they will not be, they need to pull the trigger on a Zach LaVine trade. They need to pull the trigger on the DeMar DeRozan trade and possibly Alex Caruso. See what you can get back for all these players. Start the rebuild over again. Get some draft assets. It's some good draft prospects coming up in the next few drafts. It's time. It's been time. It's been time to scrap this and rebuild. But if you're having the players only meeting after one game, bro, that's concerning. I think that's a big takeaway. Defense is terrible. Zach LaVine wasn't good.
And he was the one most frustrated. He was the one most. He was the one most frustrated. And you shot 25% from the field, bro. Like,
yeah, it wasn't good. He got to the line a lot though, so that was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shea got whatever he wanted, and they look clearly outmatched, clearly outcoached. I think Billy Donovan's on the hot seat because, like, bro, like, do you think? I don't know. As a coach, you have to be respectful. Your players say like, yeah, we want to have this talk in the locker room, but does he really have command of the locker room? Like, after one game, why? I don't think they should be doing that. This team is not very good, and I think they will miss the player. Honestly, this is gonna be a lottery team. That's what I have for them going into the season. You got any other takeaways for the rest of the night?
Again, I know it's game one, but Memphis is not going to be good for 25 games. Like, they're just not going to be good. Like, Jaren Jackson, he really can't rebound. Like, and I know it's because I put money on it, so I'm kind of extra upset about it. But like, my starting center, like power forward and or center, has to give me 6 rebounds. You got to give me 6 rebounds. And the 3 blocks in the first quarter, cool and all that, that ain't even lead to nothing anymore because they got killed after that. Zion had 3 points basically the whole game until he just erupted crazy. Everything was at the rim. That's your job. And I know, like, clearly Jaren Jackson not a one-on-one defender. Like, he's not a Bam. Like, you feel he just the rim protecting thing for him like got overstated. Desmond Bane, Jaden said, yeah, Desmond Bane gonna be fine as a 1. Just because he put up 20 points on 50% shooting doesn't mean he's gonna be fine as a 1. Like, they're clearly missing their superstar player. Marcus Smart, he was okay, but that's not enough. Like, they're missing that guy, and they're gonna be deep in the hole before they even have a chance to really fight and claw out. And this is exactly like what I predicted. Like, it went exactly how I thought. And and the Pelicans aren't even a good team. Like, but it's what I guess I'm overreacting to game one.
I don't think it's an overreaction. I don't think this team is going to be good without Ja either. They don't have a player that's going to be able to table set like we talked about so far. Marcus Smart is not a great playmaker. Derrick Rose was not good. I don't know what Jaden was talking about. He was not good. They're going to really miss the loss of Steven Adams. This team might not make the playoffs. It's completely possible for this team to miss the play-in and playoffs entirely because they don't have Ja Morant and they don't have Tyus Jones to be able to play make for them. The team without Ja Morant is just simply is not good enough to compete in the West. Like you said, Triple J, he had 5 fouls. He's still going to be able to – he's still fouling a lot. He still can't rebound. He's still not great offensively. Desmond Bane did his part, but that's just going to not be enough on a night-to-night basis. I can see this team being like 5 games below 500 until Ja Morant returns, and this is not going to be good enough at this point. But unless you got anything else to say, I think that was a great episode. We got Suns
Lakers.
Suns Lakers tonight. Gonna be a great game. We're gonna be out on there tonight. So if you're watching this, we're about to release this today. If you're watching this, make sure you pop out to watch us react to the Suns and Lakers and then the Bucks and Sixers. We're gonna have some special guests on to react to that. That's gonna be in episode 55. Make sure you guys like the video, follow our social medias on the top, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching it and continue to support us. We love making this content. We're going to definitely continue to go on. NBA is back. We excited. Going to be a lot of hot takes, a lot of all that. So we back, and we try to be consistent. So thank you guys for watching. We out.